ati atese e wi asa fana nyinara ene we se Illuminati ene we se Freemason ene we se sumwe mu ni nyinara ahyase firi he no broni timpo a wode sa nyema we nyinara e ba no de ato abibima mu no ene sen we entram so hwe Wake Up Africa kwasiada we ni kwasiada bia awia dumienu ekopem awia no mienu live on Royal TV eye adwumadi a ofa poku danko ye executive director edema Free the Mind movement ene ofa Israel Nkroma a eye coordinator edema Free the Mind movement no
ebeka me Michael Asma ho
na yesim konya na madi dwumadi ho chiame na ensem bi atise no ye gina twekronkron so abakosem ene ntwere ahodo so na ede mo hu ba bia obibini ufiri ene mu a eduro ene soma wo sombo na mabrofo sisi ache ebra so se call together twele kan no etumi bam ne no ana hyase o Free the Mind movement dwumadi e friend say Wake Up Africa dwumadi so praso say ye fa dwumadi live on Royal TV so kwasiada we ni kwasiada bia awia dumienu kopim no mienu na ya jo so adwenche na wasemmisa ye ano e de ma Wake Up Africa abibiman moma yen sore
Central Region Free the Mind movement at the conference toward Holy Atonement at Bremo live at Cape Coast. Diakro Committee Center on the 9th of September 2023. A few yemu. A brano ye anapa 10 a.m. sharp. And fendi agro. Sadano a beye butu. A beye membre. A beye kikim. A ye memenendaso. What for your poku dankwa or ye executive director Emma Free the Mind movement at avio ana Israel and Kroma. Report life ewo Cape Coast. Kojo Isaiah at the enjum tour tour a bayer daudred. Kai say Sadano the 9th of September 2023. Wafadi ngina eye fita bra yaka sila. Central Region Free the Mind movement at the conference toward Holy Atonement at Bremo live at Cape Coast. Diakro Committee Center on the 9th of September 2023. A few yemu. A brano ye anapa 10 a.m. sharp. And fendi agro. Sadano a beye butu. A beye membre. A beye kikim. A ye memenendaso. What for your poku dankwa or ye executive director Emma Free the Mind movement at avio ana Israel and Kroma. Report live ewo Cape Coast. Kojo Isaiah at the enjum tour tour a bayer daudred. Kai say Sadano the 9th of September 2023. Wafadi ngina eye fita bra yaka sila. Central Region Free the Mind movement at the conference toward Holy Atonement at Bremo live at Cape Coast. Diakro Committee Center on the 9th of September 2023. A few yemu. A brano ye anapa 10 a.m. sharp. And fendi agro. Sadano a beye butu. A beye membre. A beye kikim. A ye memenendaso. What for your poku dankwa or ye executive director Emma Free the Mind movement at avio ana Israel and Kroma. Report live at Cape Coast. Kojo Isaiah at the enjum tour tour a bayer daudred. Kai say Sadano the 9th of September 2023. Wafadi ngina eye fita bra yaka sila. Central Region Free the Mind movement at the conference toward Holy Atonement at Bremo live at Cape Coast. Diakro Committee Center on the 9th of September 2023. A few yemu. A brano ye anapa 10 a.m. sharp. And fendi agro. Sadano a beye butu. A beye membre. A beye kikim. A ye memenendaso. What for your poku dankwa or ye executive director
Africa education bia sene ya menewo inya dajre yitumitina TV chire na edi inkomo no ebre na so se menewo ebetena se na yetie ensem a education bia no se ye ready se ebetie no ebre na so abusia Wake Up Africa jumedie na woni eguso a wo hwe no na atie bia no wawin the demonic spirit behind the sexual revolution today and one yeguso a yebo hudwa a yedu a part 11 a bebe yedu no fa yewura school no ama yema yehu niama e school lesbianism gayism ati se e school no last week a train mu no ira secondary schools ira JHS mu ema yehu nyama ekoso abra parent bebre eninda se wodo ba ko school na wodo ni koja e de na isi wechire embenfo mi no eyewo fa ya pokudanko or executive director ema Freedom Mind Movement and Israel Nkrumah the national coordinator omoso abba mo modern say obehu nukure ekoso wiase mu se na ya woni ebeda ho na otimi ni obo ade anante ewo kronkron fam eno ti na bi kwese de bia omunya dagire enya time se na be ka potokase mu no etumi be di nkomo se na be ya obehu ye school no yete nyama bebre the graphics egu from the nkrata egu the videos ema wo hu de ekoso e school no se na wotwe mu no esi ekono abusia de tie bia no enda so ye ba be 12 so na ena be 12 so no kai say last week de no etwem ena 20th August 2023 ena e be room na wo hu de be koso e say why kradwa ena say be fa ukrata na say obenya daje na wa record na with me abon repeat so na with me follow social media handles Wake Up Africa GH on YouTube. So Wake Up Africa GH on Facebook. Obisa with me akona with me ahwe abrekwa we fi say ko we fi ko person test ko with me attest to our normal SMS line no 05046430052 and I say WhatsApp 05046430052 with me our WhatsApp in abra program no e ko so no e bi bra ya mama wa bemu na we so di trim po na say comment aba e the normal no be 2 TV na say kai said the normal na odi ye and I say we dey test message e fa so no enya sa normal no na obe fresh so ebe ni du a e no man be to TV na se na wotumi afre na edudumedi mu ato aso se na se pepepe ebuso ye di nkomo se na tie no dwumedi a wode o hwe se na tie bia no obade na ama kwan se obehu no kro bi na osu weni etumi ada ho se na be ya bibia ebe koso pepepe ewo wasetenem na oni obade anante ewa sumdwem na dwumedi yi de tie bia no opese oba na opese sponsor dwumedi no a your marketing hotline a obetumi afre na osu otumi a sponsor dwumedi no se esitie na dwumedi no ka se osu betumi de o aditombia o tombia no na wafre na ya amede betudwe na otu etumi a sponsor dwumedi no esan se na entam etumi akwechire esan se sisi a bebi edu no ese etumi bi amanfo ani na etumi bi amanfo adwenum se na be ya yetumi akonkan obetumi afre marketing hotline and I say market hotline 0244 686557 0244 686557 bra na bebe sponsor program no we free marketing hotline na media to jano na free na de wo bia no osu dia wo ton bia no obetumi dia ba na ya bosu anase ya bohu dengo ama na otumi aton ade se ne tie abusia we yedu ni e fa na company fo no na madam wadi na edi dwumedi no atoaso na medom wadi bia afi na me announcement ba ko mi bi atodwa na afi ya atoaso akomo nchen na edi bibia atoaso pepepe se ne sitie no abusia mo no hwe mi medi ni Michael Asma ene me na medi dwumedi mu chia me nyadaje ma ho na tenase na dwodwo ho esanse ndem se me baba no ani esoso se na watwetwe mu no ebe ye no ija nkoma na akwa ba apomo okay, that's the that's what to me about.
Thank you.
Okay. Over. Mike. Abu
Wako wale no ni anji say
many dey say many anji a enyi ya yura ho ana say in this sense to me back.
Na say na sisru no ase ni
oba dia na ne kan ni sim no say iwi subre e wa yura ho bre e wa sidi bre ti ayo no be twuma say menim to me say ka yo over what we train to buy and my yet nyama bibre ase in terms of LGBT nkomodie a yedi ya o ma ye hu kasamfoni bi a trendy e me hu say the course we school no anu nyan time sinicity na according to some of the reports you read it from graphic other document it prove say ampa ade no akwa yet say ye the brain na asanso aba be say o ya brabo in terms of say ebunu baye enko wiase no nya enuhu say de omo ye no ebese omo ama ye kasamfoni bibiri etutu ye omo a omo nya no hu efa de omo aye ho no she said there's no way to return back wo di saade ni na to dwa ama yehu se ade we a ekoi enko wi ase no enhu na beba bebre na no mutu change your gender form no to female to male whatever to that no they wish they will come back sa video no ekoso ya the other support of documents abu boss ma etifu na hwefo to me say indeed what we are saying, we have a factual fact to defend whatever we are saying. And that's what about the point. So, on the 20th August 2023, we see them date them and forget it. I have to give them the update. So, we say, you know, new, fresh, so that's why fresh. A resemble exactly like 20th August to you. I don't know, of course, to me, my mogakra.
That's it. Yedi kan ebechia afefu nyina na ya kan say ene no any presentation there ka crib focus ni na ejira UNESCO so last week the hwe nyina no you say no biara na ye the blame and schools no e say the yinyai yen demonize schools. You say they be say co-educational. You say. Now when we now, the urban say UNESCO and we do so bono. We just an day. UNESCO to set it, you show a time. There were 3 segments of leadership.
Okay.
Women vote create a kind of African leadership. Every man will say. No for so any money and to form.
Okay.
Now we make sure say Israel na and crowd no cry. When we be that.
Sound for 3 segments.
3 segments when I come by any. You show time me from Pharisee, Sadducee, and scribes.
Okay.
You show time have a reference no. And then no time no. Education, religion, and media.
Sadducee.
Segments at that time.
Okay.
And education also UNESCO.
Wow.
It was like the United Nations Educational and Cultural Civilization Organization.
Okay.
That's good. If you want to actually be a school, it is a learning Samuel Mary. They are can't say United Nations in the book. And say, baby, name do ya or here. Uncle, the young come with young Kunti or Badi and Eba. Went to me. Free on the bar in the petri say. A coin be asked, your massacre, who are boom. You are Quatia or Badi.
Okay.
And you know, me, anyway, we are obeying with UNESCO and I say United Nations, but we are now the say, one day soon be neighbor, a quarter back one, and a pin day, and you need the WHO. The one quarter back one, a share a guma, ILO. The one quarter back one, and a share the trade, World Trade Organization. It's all that we are
not too happy.
Or not too happy.
Okay.
Agencies no yeah if you say botany ko wi no see now one world government, one world financial system, one world religion.
Okay.
Akeke ka wi na me awusa no titi sa na maybe basani wo na omo build ama abedi no omo so build nti no say we need we are na we say school me na describe say we are educated illiterate we dey say I want to be from ma India, who be because we are Sidia. We are so educated, but we are illiterate.
Good terminology.
Educated illiterate.
Terminology.
UNESCO. And I'm Jina almost.
Okay.
I will follow a chef now, can come on to AM. The only school, the course of government, we are alarm, the MTS, we are the Yubano. The Quaco, UNESCO. If there were no, and a subono, a day bono. I don't think I'm not UNESCO. Then we have first video.
I was a far, you share a video, a decline UNESCO, saying UNESCO, dear, education by Tankua, in some of our church video na na area kayasem. UNESCO's war on parents. You see UNESCO and Tokwa on parent aircom abra unity and there's a yakradwa on my first video edikan.
The NGO that looks after education in the United Nations is UNESCO. UNESCO's constitution was written by an Illuminati Mason called Archibald MacLeish. He was a member of the Skull and Bone Society. The first director of UNESCO was Julian Huxley, the brother of Aldous Huxley. He was the 1962 Humanist of the Year and a member of the Communistic Colonial Bureau of the British Fabian Society. He was also a signatory on the Humanist Manifesto too. Under Huxley's guidance, the United Nations produced a document called the Handbook for Teachers, and it reminded teachers of their role in preparing children for a world organization. Huxley said in 1948, "Its education program can stress the ultimate need for world political unity and familiarize all the peoples with the implications of the transfer of full sovereignty from separate nations to a world organization. Political unification and some sort of world government will be required." UNESCO explained, "If UNESCO is attacked on the grounds that it is helping to prepare the world's people for world government, then it is an error to burst forth with apologetic statements and denials. Let us face it, the job of UNESCO is to help create and promote world citizenship. When faced with such a charge, let us by all means affirm it from the housetops." They're not even pretending to hide it. So in whatever country you live, you may notice the media and education systems encouraging you to feel ashamed of your nationality, your history, or your politicians. This is designed to remove your allegiance from your nation so that you are more ready to accept global citizenship. But what about this war on parents they're waging? On the opening page of the UNESCO handbook it says, "Before the child has entered school, his mind has already been profoundly marked and often injuriously by earlier influences, i.e. parents, first gained however dimly in the home." UNESCO thinks that if you have been teaching your child the truth about God in the home, then you have injured their mind and that this needs to be undone in the school. Page 58 of the UNESCO handbook says, "As we have pointed out, it is frequently the family that infects the child with extreme nationalism. The school should therefore use the means described earlier to combat family attitudes. The whole aim is to undermine Judeo-Christian values and to eradicate it as an infection from the minds of children." Peter Hoagland perhaps sums up their attitude when he says, "Fundamental Bible-believing people do not have the right to indoctrinate their children in their religious beliefs because we, the state, are preparing them for the year 2000 when America will be part of a one-world global society and their children will not fit in." They are, in fact, encouraging children to rebel against their parents' instruction, and by doing so they are of course breaking the fifth commandment to honour your father and mother. On page 8 of the handbook for teachers it says, "The kindergarten or infant school has a significant part to play in the child's education. Not only can it correct many of the errors of home training, but it can also prepare the child for membership at about age 7 in a group of his own age and habits, the first of many such social identifications that he must achieve on his way to membership in the world society." Again, they see the teaching of parents as errors that need to be corrected. Parents are today therefore being asked to hand their kids over to a system that will at the earliest possible age begin indoctrinating them with their philosophical ideas that run contrary to any Christians. We can also see from this quotation that they believe peer pressure will aid their cause. Some Christian parents have already seen potential harm in the state education system and have chosen to homeschool their children, or at least pull their kids out of certain classes. This is, of course, not acceptable in the coming New World Order. In Germany, it is already illegal to homeschool children, and in March 2011 a couple were jailed for withdrawing their child from a sex education class. Let's take the sex education issue in which the German couple took a stand as a little case study of where things are going. Back on October 16, 1969, the co-founder of UNESCO, Reinhold Niebuhr, undersigned an advert from the Sexuality, Information and Education Council of the United States, or SICUS for short. It read, "It is the position of SICUS that contraceptive services should be available to all, including minors, who should enjoy the same rights of free and independent access to contraceptive care as do others. It is the position of SICUS that the use of explicit sexual materials, sometimes referred to as pornography, can serve a variety of important needs in the lives of countless individuals." So UNESCO approve of the idea that everyone, including minors, should have access to contraception, and they approve of the use of explicit pornography in their education. Fast forward to 9th of March 2011, where it was reported in the UK that explicit and permissive sexual material has just been cleared for children as young as 5 years old in the name of education. Despite this education already having led to explosions in sexual promiscuity, disease and teenage pregnancies, this line has not been abandoned. Quite the opposite. The age at which children have access to it is reduced. Furthermore, free contraception is now widely available to facilitate early sexual activity, which is promoted as safe, but which is anything but. Disease has skyrocketed. These policies daily help destroy the lives of young people around the world. The reason it's not being reversed is because they're not really concerned about the well-being of individuals. The primary aim of the whole United Nations organization is to usher in the required conditions for
UNESCO was on parents. UNESCO for ntoko money awofo eku na am say kasa ni nyina no me bono tofa kakra bi na edenkana ma wofa na wato aso the UNESCO for eye ne say e kasa wiase nyina no omo education nyina e show mo sa e kasa education e ye sukuru ko suapon ye wo ni other institutions a ye kwaje ntete se no ya daachi bi ye bitu ntimi se ye betumi abaye adwuma abaye omamba etumi aboa ye man akoso UNESCO na hwe so se nkwala no benya sa ntete ni nyina o wiase na so ya adwuma de na nka ye fan na so ende kasamfuni ama ye hu se UNESCO for dwuma de mu di school no sama na ebone etayechiri ne se omo ya wofo no manya ya de ntine ye kana sa esan se nyama omodi aba school suapon mu anase school mu a ama odi kire nkwada no bi nyina akwa te se emmom omo tete nkwada no ma nkwada no emmenya ebuo emma omawfuo njobehwe a obade ye kan anase mi se akwada bia no ko begini na wajani na so UNESCO ntise mu no esan so omodi aba education service mu nti yomo ka kire akwada ne se akwada betimi aka kire ne papa na se o maame se all right dino behwe a de ekoso ewe yemfie mu no akwada ko school ba office onim beta ese o maame saa de ekoso na ma nkwada enwua de ewo mawofuo ni no UNESCO fuo hyehyere na aba ne saa obehwa UNESCO ede hyehyere abe school mu a enne kakane no wanka ya bowa ba Israel kan so obi a ya bona ba bia no owadwentene ne nene akwada be na ba yesi memfa ba enka no na so oba bia hyehyere mu no oka se memma aba no enda ho esansa aba no na ede tinetine akwada no aba yi so na se nkoyi a enne education service se nkoyi na odhwe akwada no a parent bia won de person de ye obia ni nyina ye UNESCO for enhyehyere saa so na UNESCO etmeyi obade so afi nkwada mu obehwe a most of the schools ni nyina no yenta enka obade asemo even worship time me kai those days 1997-96 so one ko worship a case ene one ko kurampa obia enfiu me kai me teacher baako o we juma kwasa samisanyansen so one worship na ochi wo kromu a na the next day mo kwa so ana mo ko school a obi say worship dey na course so ene ni nyina no omo ye fi nkwadaa no mu UNESCO ye hu omo saa say omo ye wiase go bad time fabi no a omo boa na education akoso ana say fabi no omo no mu na omo say nkwadaa no omo ne awofuo no edi ako esan say omo say nkwadaa no ama awofuo no na omo keep nkwadaa no we shall references will be omo make concerning about Germany say kira ba sex education na awofuo no so mpa na ko yi ba no fi school wa it would go court e ko jelu eno na UNESCO e promote o school nja busia video ehwe no na se kire ni over
e da se Mike na waka ni nyina eno ene de the movement a comprehensive sexuality education e buy it is say ni e ba ba be document e kwa mi say UNESCO one document UNESCO Zambia.
Okay.
One document.
Okay.
Now you call page 2. I say what is comprehensive sexual education?
Okay.
Or CSE. Kind of
abisha graphic paper da menu a opinini ebe odin no eno ana mebe boso na yetumi akenkane hu UNESCO Zambia last updated 22nd June 2003 summary passion and as a portion of the mind say main kind amount
2023
yeah 2023 yeah it's exactly 2023 na yesha say what is comprehensive sexual education or CSE comprehensive sexual education or the many other ways this may be referred to is a curriculum-based process of teaching and learning about the cognitive, emotional, physical, and social aspect of sexuality. It aims to equip children and young people with knowledge, skills, attitude, and value that empowers them to realize their health, well-being, and dignity, develop respectful social and sexual relationships, consider how their choices affect their own well-being and that of others, and understand and ensure the protection of their right throughout their lives. Yeba efa amento aso wo ha
say baby
marking and patro and one wa maybe okay maybe okay okay sorry as an come jumpy the CSE presents sexuality with a positive approach, emphasizing values such as respect, inclusion, non-discrimination, equality, empathy, responsibility, or reciprocity. It enforces healthy and positive values about bodies, puberty, relationship, sex, and family life. What you may call
the page 300.
Page 3. Okay. What does evidence say about CSE? The evidence on the impact of the CSE is clear. Sexuality education has positive effects, including increasing young people's knowledge and improving their attitude related to sexual and reproductive health and behaviors. Sexuality education leads to learners delaying the age of sexual initiation, increasing the use of condom and other contraceptive when they are sexually active, increasing their knowledge about their bodies and relationship, decreasing their risk-taking, and decreasing their frequency of unprotected sex. Programs that promote abstinence as the only option have been found to be ineffective in delaying sexual initiation, reducing the frequency of sex, or reducing the number of sexual partners. To achieve positive change and reduce earlier or ununited pregnancies, education about sexuality, reproductive health, and contraception must be wide-ranging. CSE is 5 times more likely to be successful in preventing unintended pregnancy and sexual transmitted infection when it pays explicit attention to the topic of gender and power. Parents and family members are primary source of information, value, formation, care and support for children. Sexuality education has the most impact when school-based programs are complemented with the improvement of parents and teachers, training institutes and young-friendly services. Okay. However, UNESCO believes that with CSE, young people learn to treat each other with respect and dignity from an early age and gain skills for better decision making, communication and critical analysis. They learn they can talk to an adult they trust when they are confused about their bodies, relationship and values. They learn to think about what is right and safe for them and how to avoid coercion. Sexuality or sexually transmitted infection, including HIV and early on unintended pregnancy and where to go for help. They learn to identify what violence against children and women look like, including sexual violence, and to understand injustice based on gender. They learn to uphold universal values of equality, love, and kindness.
Comprehensive sexuality education. And again, idea never say all member nations of United Nations and I say UNESCO no. Almost the way now. Say yes, video na here. And my own say, Nkwala at the age of 5 years ago, now you introduce them to condom use. Adding. Engineer, no, politicians need the and I made Babeka. By a bad share, comprehensive sexuality education, you know, I would Ghana. After you who now, after you who say, hey, say UNESCO, never a deba, and they are buying only no hano, only a teaching themselves. Yes, you shall not gramophone. Now, I don't know, you did more records. And now, I believe we will have his master's voice. And you know, Abai, who do only now, only his master's voice. Okay. When I can say, you will now, we'll quack away. But now, I'm saying, I don't know. Oh, my one, I'll be with the Ecogia. Oh, you way back, you buy a basic into the favor of your bar. No money attack you. Anybody of the idea in the bar, no job, not in baby, and then you have. You call graphic, okay. Friday, 2nd June 2017. Okay. Mama committee, because we have mom. Yes, sir. So the opinion Daily Graphic Friday, 2nd June 2017. Sexuality education materials launched for the youth by Dennis A.J. Boating. I don't know, report is issue. A comprehensive sexuality education manual for young people titled Know It, Own It, Live It has been launched with a call on parents to intensify sex education among their children to minimize sexual transmitted disease (STDs) and teenage pregnancy in the country. Manual. The launch brought together parents, including the International Planned Parenthood Federation, that is IPPF, the United Nations Scientific and Cultural Organization, popularly known as UNESCO,
the Education Service (GES), the National Population Council (NPC), the National Youth Authority (NYA), among others, to help empower the youth. On their sexuality. The 419 page, but only 419 as it is so, but I'll give you a page to the manual now or more can. The 419 page manual has been programmed to help reduce the incidence of large family size, promote the use of contraceptive for family planning and prevention of infections and drug abuse among the public, especially the youths. The 4-year milestone project, which is supported by the West African Health Organization, WHO, UNESCO, and what? UNESCO. So I'm saying sorry. Okay. We see a daily graphic Friday, November 2nd, 2018. In next year, Ghana develops guidelines for comprehensive sexuality education by Augustina Telia on our report here, our graphic. National document that seek to ensure that young people receive a comprehensive sexual and reproductive health education has been developed for schools and civil society organization CSOS, known as the Guideline for Comprehensive Sexuality Education CSE in Ghana. The document is the first to be developed in the country. It is a page age specific and seek to guide both teachers and CSOs on the type of sexual health education information they can give to young people both in and out of school at a specific stage of their developments. According to the guidelines, children in junior high school, popularly known as JHS, between the age of 12 to 14 years are expected to be taken through topics including alcohol, drugs, and substance abuse. For children in schools, he said, the guidelines indicated that they could start receiving CSE information from age 4 and then end at 17 after they complete SHS. For those that are out of school, CSE should start at age 6 and end at 24. With the guidelines, it means that no teacher or CS can go to school or communities and teach youth or young people comprehensive sexual education without reference to the age of the targeted group and the appropriate topic to teach. Last one. Okay, last one. We see a daily graphic edited by Monday, September 30th, 2019. Sex education starts in primary 1. Ajia Sulemana Mustafa and a reporting here. I see the Ghana Education Service GES will from next term introduce sex education into the curriculum of basic schools to equip pupils to know and experience their sexuality. At age 6, primary 1, people will be introduced to values and societal norms to how to interact with different sexes and groups. As the people graduate to the upper primary, they will be made to study different models of sexuality that include relationship, friendship, dating, and courtship. Adria, that was so. The guideline model for 11-year-old in primary 6 include fertility, pregnancy-related issues, childbirth, and respecting gender differences. This part of the guidelines for the comprehensive sexuality education (CSE) that is expected to integrate gender humanity values and sexual and reproductive health rights perspective into sexuality education in Ghana. The executive director of the National Population Council, one of the promoters of the curriculum, Dr. Letitia is quite faint here, so forgive me. Letitia Adelaide Apia. Okay, no, Letitia Adelaide Apia said in an interview that the focus of the CSE was to empower children to make the right choice. When parents, religious leaders fail to play their role, giving an alarming statistics to buttress her point. Dr. Apia said teenage pregnancy was high in the country and that in every 1,000 adolescents there were record cases of 114 teenagers. Correct. Let me go to the LGBT campaigners, anti-LGBT campaigners. Already some anti-lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, LGBTQ campaigners have criticized the introduction of the CSE in the public school, saying it will replace advocacy for abstinence with sex. Participation at any age, if one so desire. They fear that schools in the country are no longer safe for the school children, as the LGBT campaigners are taking control of what is taught in the classroom. But the head of the National Population Council, who is also a medical doctor, said investment in adolescent health and well-being brought a triple divided off benefit now into a future adult life and for the next generation of children.
Well, the American can win if you say it could be baby and I have to comprehensive sexuality not Yasunu. By ye politics film, we share a humwa, say, newspapers a carry, and I'm sure that the bass. Okay, ranking time in free non-political conditions. Okay, we say it to an amount. Young one account, say, young from my president, last week, Kuma, you say. A teacher boy, do almost a boy school, almost do almost their school, almost do almost. Yeah. And you know, so say that you're young to move. That's a bit too more, and you're busy money. Oka America, Omaji LGBT, near my tomorrow. A teacher boy, and a minimum school, sir. Women so etc. how to become LGBT member. And you can come in every year. The second video. Okay, I'm sure your second video. A trust so the video trust me. Kai say video wish you obey to me. I continue as a year messages aba na it me I can cancel make Saso Jumidi so ubit me afre na opese ye ton nyama mawa your marketing hotline and I'm able to get you 0244686557 0244686557 ade bia woton bia no wo de frame na ye accessing who say ebe to me abuama wetumi emekiska dache intendo na media to the amount no normal no omodi answer obe frame na wetumi aton wade amount we show you so amount and so video trust me no a ye be hwe it's not natural. You see, and yet natural. Why are 20% of kids sadly LGBTQ? You see, and yet natural. Identity and 20%
of young kwala sadly no or my baby LGBTQ sina woni no abusha say kadwa every video no na embra.
I think it's very clear that there are certain teachers that have an agenda, and that their agenda is to indoctrinate children into this LBGT mindset, and that this is not just cherished but celebrated. And, you know, if you're talking to someone who is a gay kid, great. That's great. If you want to tell them that it's okay to be gay and, you know, you should be your true self, great. That's terrific. What my concern with is that a lot of what we're seeing with, like, New Jersey had an uptick in kids identifying as non-binary by 4,000%. Like, it's not natural. These are not normal numbers. And I think children are very malleable. They're very impressionable. And if you reward them for certain kinds of behavior, if they are praised and cherished for certain types of behavior, I think they'll be encouraged to do that. And I think you're seeing with a lot of these detransitioners that a lot of these kids got encouraged early and got put on hormone blockers and hormones and got mastectomies and got castrated, and now they have deep regret. And people don't want to acknowledge that, and they attack those people. They attack those detransitioners. We have always thought that young children are not capable of making life-changing decisions at an early age. That's why we don't allow 7-year-olds to get tattooed. Right. And now all of a sudden you're allowing 7-year-olds to say that I'm a girl or I'm a boy, cut off my breasts and put me on testosterone.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
What percentage of parents do you actually think, obviously we don't know the exact number, but what percentage of parents, left, right, middle, think that's okay? What do you think that percentage is?
That's interesting. I would not know. I would just be wildly guessing.
What do you
but there's
even if we
there's
guess,
a certain amount of people that are in the progressive mindset that is essentially a cult. Look, there's cult-like thinking on both the right and on the left.
Absolutely.
It's cult thinking. It's conglomerations of opinions that you adopt and you defend because that keeps you in the tribe. And the LBGT, whatever the other numbers are in letters, what that is it's a flag that you're flying to show that you're on the right team, that you're progressive, you're open-minded, you're on the right side of history, you're inclusive. You know, this is what they're doing. And that has an effect on people psychologically. I think you should allow people to be who they are, and you should be open to people being who they are no matter what it is. But to encourage them to go in a specific direction, I think there's real repercussions for that, and I think you're seeing that with these detransitioners.
You think it's 1%, 5%, 10%, 15%? You think it's 20 plus? Like, if you were to guess,
I don't think it's 20 plus.
I don't think so either.
I think it's a vocal minority. The same thing with people that think that trans athletes should be able to compete with women and biological women in women's sports. It's a very small, very loud minority.
Say we brena with me I show you video to so mienu say na ka no you see anya natural adentina 20% of your enkwada sadly now no LGBT media course we ase especially Ghana omatu omohwasim na wo hwe kase course nyina no a give you the analysis of how enkwada no 20% no we descend straight to that aspect LGBTQ na ye ka ho asem no timeko of your poku down ko na wato aso amai over
a teacher for no and take advantage insist say okay last week teacher ni bia o can say LGBT a British value nti me enka say onkonko ye to force we say we dey enko obeye no line no in America no what teach you more ati say 20% of enkwala suddenly about LGBT let us say queer people no more no I'm yet teacher for no o me adwumaden and o motimi abdominity enkwala edibibi aso okay still I'm UNESCO for and that is almost so no UNESCO so the educational system be by transforming present educational system you woman transform new philosophy for education it will be us ɛno nti no saa philosophy no yɛde bɛkyerɛ nkwalaa sɛnea ɔmbɛdwane firi nationalism ho na ɔmabɛyɛ globalist nti ɛno na akyerɛ adeɛ da global citizenship education ɛyɛ adeɛ a yɛde ɛba bɛhyɛ mu in line with the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. So then you say a collegia internationalist approach to education. Senior any allegiance to home country. Now we are seeing from the point of globalism. Okay, I did know can hear. Yeah. Oh, can say UNESCO yeah, discourage you. Now we are my mind. We will look beyond woman, so we are a global citizen. Okay. The education, any of the buy. That the new philosophy on the buy, any of them world core curriculum. Okay. World core curriculum was developed by our friend Robert Muller. Okay. Now Martin said, "One more going to training colleges, Musa and a teacher for no. Robert Muller, Musiano Honsempa. It is all about the father of global education. To all of the world core curriculum, a by Samia, the Benya world citizens are one more values, one more attitudes, anyone who believes, you know, the nutrition, them. Now committee to the coming one world government, you know, one world and UNESCO. Soon one day, so be to an amount or the ashe. If the main say maybe you call the genealogy of common core, the dates, UNESCO, Robert Muller, Alice Bailey, and Lucy's Trust. The American can be every page 6, my marking 6, 7, and a half 12. Okay. Do you intend to time in the side? Son of Obodino, the genealogy of Common Core, Bill Gates, UNESCO, Robert Muller, Alice Bailey, Lucy's Trust, Tuesday, December 5th, 2017, page 6, and I may say a kind. Muller on education. I had written an essay which was circulated by UNESCO and which earned me that title, which earned me the title of Father of Global Education. I was educated badly in France. I have come to the conclusion that the only correct education that I have received in my life was from the United Nations. We should replace the word politics by planetics. We need planetary management, planetary caretakers, planetary caretakers. We need global science. We need a science of a global psychology, a global sociology, a global anthropology. Then I made my proposal for a world core curriculum. Speech delivered at the University of Denver in 1995. The World Core Curriculum has received the Department of Education stamp of approval through the National Diffusion Network for use in public schools. For the next page. For the next page. Page 7. The following is from the preface to the Robert Muller School World Core Curriculum Manual. The underlying philosophy upon which the Robert Muller School will be found in the teaching set forth in the books of Alice A. Bailey by the Tibetan teacher Joakun, published by Lewis Publishing Company, 113 University Place, 11th floor, New York, 10083.
and the teachings of M. Moya as given in the Ajahn Yoga series book published by Ajahn Yoga Society, Estate 319 West 07 Street, New York 10025. That's what we see here.
The last one.
The last one. 12. Okay.
No, I see her.
Okay. UNESCO. It is UNESCO, its purpose and its philosophy. The general philosophy of UNESCO should be a scientific world humanism, global in extent and evolutionary. In background, in its education program, it can stress the ultimate need for world political unity and familiarize all people with the implication of the transfer of full sovereignty from separate nation to a world organization. Political unification in some sort of world government will be required. Task for the media division of UNESCO will be to promote the growth of a common outlook shared by all nations and cultures, to help emergency of a single world culture. Even though it is quite true that any radical ingenuitive policy will be for many years political and philosophically impossible, it will be important for UNESCO to see that the ingenious problem is examined with the greatest care and that the public mind is informed of issue at stake to that much that now it is unthinkable may at least become thinkable.
Robert Muller's Global Education, page
4. According to the New Man magazine, Muller's World Core Curriculum is meant to steer our children toward global citizenship, earth-centered beliefs, socialist value, and the collective mindset, which is becoming a requirement for the 21st century workforce. You share a video. A trust me Robert Muller's World Core Curriculum. And then a video. A trust me and son. Now before say you share a video. My father, I said into January kakra. Coming 26th of August 2023. I was saying meaning that Kofobia Oyoko pipeline, Tafo, and all the surroundings. You see, Yeba Abishiamo, of Israel, and Babishia, Sadano on the 26th of August 2023. Na Kumiso Ekahubi, Nesia Kumi, any Israel. Now, Memesina, the Yabubu, and Yokofobia, Oyoko pipeline, Tafo, and the man training, your filming Samumra, na Munda Misia, Israel, any Kumi, na meeting, and cause a freedom movement members Oprah person we join Bia with me Abba now Abba be joining Sasuna on the same 26 at today more expecting Edico or Baho Sasuna the same 26 assignments will be quite more expecting Michael so or Baho I'm sure we are going to you really trust me and son you be sharing Robert Muller's World Core Curriculum so video na kadwa jabu mai na emfanka yasam.
Perhaps the most prominent UN figurehead with regards to spiritual unification of the world is this man, Robert Mueller. He died in 2010, but was Under-Secretary General of the UN for 40 years, and he is revered within the UN as the philosopher or prophet of hope of the United Nations. His spiritual viewpoints were quite clear. He said, "We must move as quickly as possible to a one-world government, a one-world religion, under a one-world leader." He believed that peace for this one-world order rested primarily on religion, saying, "Peace will be impossible without the taming of fundamentalism through a united religions that professes faithfulness only to the global spirituality and to the health of this planet." He also said, My great personal dream is to get a tremendous alliance between all the major religions and the UN. Because he held one of the top jobs in the UN for 40 years, he obviously had huge influence on the goals of the organisation, but the problem goes much further than that, because as well as being the driving force behind the spirituality of the UN, he also created something called the World Core Curriculum, which, as the name suggests, is intended to be an education programme or framework for the entire world. He is therefore also known throughout the world as the father of global education. Not only this, but he actually established specialist Robert Muller schools where his educational ideas could be taught in their purest form. There are over 30 in existence and more are being established each year. The World Core Curriculum earned him the UNESCO Peace Education Prize in 1989. Now, since UNESCO is just an NGO of the UN, that seems a little meaningless to give yourself an award, but anyway, following the plaudits he received from within the UN, he also drew up a framework for world media coverage, as well as a framework for planetary and cosmic consciousness, and a framework for arts and culture. Basically, these are plans for how they might dominate the information flows to influence the mindsets of the world. My focus is the World Core Curriculum because the idea was that the UN issues this document to the nations, who then use it as the framework for their own regional school curriculums. By this method, all the schools around the world would start teaching their kids the same ideas about life. The coming generations would then have the same worldview and the same attitudes for the New World Order. Robert Muller said of it that we must steer our children toward global citizenship, earth-centered beliefs, socialist values and the collective mindset which is becoming a requirement for the 21st century workforce. He went on to say, a World Core Curriculum might seem utopian today. By the end of the year 2000, it will be a down-to-earth daily reality in all the schools of the world. Now, he was a little ambitious with the timescale, but the determination to see it happen hasn't gone away. Here in Scotland, a new curriculum has just been introduced called the Curriculum for Excellence, and although it has been heavily criticised by parents and by teachers alike, it openly bases itself on UN frameworks, and one of its key components is preparing children for global citizenship, and it uses phrases like the child's well-being and well-becoming. Most people wouldn't pick up on that, but we know from the evolution part that the word becoming is an occult term for the evolution towards godhood. So if this World Core Curriculum is to be the source for national curriculums around the world that will be taught to coming generations of children, we need to find out what's in it. Robert Muller wrote in the World Core Curriculum notes that the underlying philosophy upon which the Robert Muller School is based will be found in the teaching set forth in the books of Alice A. Bailey. The school is now certified as a United Nations associated school providing education for international cooperation and peace. So this whole curriculum that is to be implemented around the world and which is to be fed to every child on the planet to prepare them for a one world government rests upon the philosophies of this one woman called Alice A. Bailey. We better find out more about her.
sɛ wɔtumi ahwɛ yɛka samfoni ɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa Robert Muller ne World Core Curriculum no ɛna United Nations agye atom ɛna UNESCO so ɛde ɛyɛ adwuma a branch and agent to United Nations no ɛfa baabi no wɔhwɛ a ɛno ara na ɛsecurity of the whole world saa program mɛka sɛ ɛba Ghana no koraa mpo mekɔ bi I think sɛ ma kɔ saa program no bi for 3 times. I remember the last one I'm calling, you know, and I'm a bufu ya. Me see me free baby, I say me free because no mo see a children kwala dia. Young children mo senior at the university, and then mommy question ya answer amba me see no. I'm baby from it in fa. Of until the old kind you know crepa.
And I'm reserving the comments. Any bia edias yanti. Fourth video no cry no. Mimi. Then the American say, World Core Curriculum no yɛhwete mako obiase no America for starting woman deɛ 2007 hold on starting deliberately say say no mo launching no 2009 ekosi say ya me aduma next week because sounds na Ghana deɛ no so by 2020 an idea no ebeduru ha na almost starting so more come home some. Yes, yeah, no, oh, they say education, you know, said I'm a kind, you know, when you are more educated illiterates. So more school could that's how I'm checking to me, my move will be a course we are sitting there. Now more educated illiterates. I
like the terminology. I was telling you, you know, over the times, you know, educated illiterates. Very well terminology. Terms. Abuja, son of a Okudankwa, and then I'm wasting. We will call Israel and Kroma and Chain. Now, the will be also area twice. So now, messages be aba, now making kind Bakuni will be a mount, now yen twaso. Messages now banody. Be a fine, be good, papa. Also, good afternoon, Freedom and Movement. With this dangerous, comprehensive sex education from the UNESCO, how can we do as a nation to resist these educational threats from our school curriculum? You also be saying, my message you be seeing and Canada also to my cousin Miss Umwa, me, me call you join, not the Ohono. I am mine. Baba.
You, Baba, so let's hear for you now.
Okay.
Say you're prepared towards the Holy Atonement.
Okay.
To say on the Central Region.
On the 19th of September.
Of Nagasa.
9th September, sorry.
Yes.
9th September. 9th September. Okay.
Baby P. Obadian, the Afasha. And baby,
with this conference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'll prepare one of the local here.
Yeah.
Good. And you know, maybe will be somebody. But then you are come more, but you went from I can be a woman of the war, we know, Papushia. Can you some Bronya? Some Bronya. Some Easter.
Yeah.
You go one canon, for atonement.
Yeah.
The Kosavan Fache, the Kosari D, Kosaran so. Now, I did be able to go more beyond. Near the Fita, a cobra, no. Fita means holiness.
Okay.
If you can put a book, Massey,
okay.
Kumasi, Eastern region, long half for Moba. Okay. Take you for you.
Okay.
The share offer. Or the message.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
For Bibi
okay.
The third one is Bibi Accra.
Okay.
They say, Afibiano, Bibi no Dibia, Anna and Copon Teen and Bible. Be no only problem. Be our how.
Okay.
Be our symptom of life. That day, no, a Baba, your Copon say, the tea in the park. It's a free. Be said to be an atonement. Okay.
Now, Ubo Kumasi for SODSM Kumasi. Yeah, Kumasi so Omo Ebishia, which is Ashanti region. Gonna have for go through Sishi, Munano, Mubishi, conference to Holy Atonement. Baby under age median, a closer call, a word do behind a do snitch any commercial bank. The date near Saturday, 16th September 2020. Do you need 10 a.m. sharp?
Yeah. You are first be a couple say in the and celebrating.
Yeah, okay.
Now the occasion mupa no.
Never be dino.
And then atonement.
Okay.
Until the catch a man for say more prepared.
Okay.
For that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, to me no. Asama can. Because why I can. Bibino as the response man say, I can say, and Pabo, I win here. I can say, we say, instead of Pabo, fire at a chair, a foot to some over. Then about some girl, a school. So the TV won't hear me. But the BR, say, the tennis say, meaning to him. Na me kasachire no na de ohunu no suwo no no aba awreho do no hun suwo no no awreho education of I say education. Your time no not money so be the money at school. The time no that was so be the money at school. Boy and girl cramp no na ye hu bi. And then akola be 12 years. 11 years fi say oya oba oya virgin no ofa na the boy at school hono ofa no. Teacher for the name. Teacher the work to me bribe.
Student.
Oh yes.
A bribe teacher ni.
Bribe teacher ni. Why you come? Look what you say. Bear 1 month no. Not supply with Guinness.
Nkwala ni no.
Yeah. Always ka. Ntino yibo bia no ntumi nka. Ntino office say oba no school ma osua de o. So now name oye no a bon. A bon. Offer them so be say first year for no of amokwa nga fonti mi pa amokwa ngoto seniors no te hwe obo a seniors no no wonu fefe akwa bia na ho for a cute girl no of say ne mother,
my school mother
offer me school be no Emma 5 obi wo the school children 2 obi wo 3 senior no ono fa kwala nsa say the school children because when say oh yeah school mother for the man say oba fra ona obotwa so
obi bi nyama bi hwa na chiro
I say o chwa de aso ocho hamla wa ha amla school no not actually on so senior no
good okay
no otade ma on mo kasa sa afide ebe wie de say obeda aso da nchen school da no so da nchen so so your ba no so your ba da nchen onye ojiwo na osakwa dwene onye wadwene wi a afidie odo ototade kwa da ma school no kwa ba kwa no o woni bi
beto di ebiale foforo
wacha wadwene wi nti no next time no afide na sabe put for na se oye sa 1 week na wo ko
na foforo aba
no so ko na foforo aba we are now mama wan koso so no mo le kama se ye koso school so no bi ye koso no etino akwala no onyino no afano asale ke more than 80% of this the school so no omo ye pa especially schools are mass schools.
The single sex school.
Yeah, omo ye papa. They say you never bring around say enkwala omo no ba ebenyini about take control of this nation.
Okay.
Enti enko na ni wo kwala ho. Jubo no mo a asam to no a na in so TV so akwala na innocent. Ada na penu ye na sa. No be a passion. Akoma kwala. Onye hwe mami bi dia aba sa akona akowia nsika odin sa shejum kana fo ehwe video no omo chi mami no atum sa kwala innocent enkwala wohia obi ha mi bia do na wo ma o mo school na ne ma ekoso ho no mo no ni na no say ye ahwahan edu ndiko eye ahwahan na meka bi say no of last week no Ghana parliament e pass a law bi na e wo mlam say
last week yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So obi di bonbo no so obi di a bono no say to me a sentence no then yeah free ho Vambwa.
Okay.
Yes, Ubi Bonia, Mian couldn't be him.
Okay.
If I don't go to na abandon Pedriane and feeding. Copy Robert de Moa, no. Unya, Ababa Froba, so nya, the pardon there, so coffee free. I can't make a journal. Okay, I shall hand it and I make a the coupon Nyan Salmono, Ubidi Bonia, I coupon Okum, Naminkum, Okum, Kumwa, na aye I sense some more of a TV arsenal. Say away, yeah, they didn't quite fit themselves into no one yet. It's a couple on your mistake. First of all, say once to more than is a wire by. I don't say a Puano.
Foreign squad.
One boat you will be able to say, hey! And then he said, if you want to move. Parliament Yao, and last week I rather. And the year for one say, my own cool baby. You will be the Bonia. If I go to na aban feeding no or not the ones who are no until I feel not one about sorry. Okay, Yanko, I said, me pay. I want to offer the one for her. Abba, that's a punishment. A dropper. Obiara or TV ase no say on tia ba no the ba na Jimmy na ebehwa de ade ba saa na ai na Ghana ase no ye mfa ye nimfa nkọ no mo na ye bu ye negu so na fi na kofa bon de abrɛ e bi ameka no ko to Bible me bu sem 23
Yeah.
no ko to bi e ko pasam na who say I feel the beer for Casembi or say United Nation or many of bad year in a town. You say UN for the UN, which media for UN, Emra, UN for the Benina, Emra, and Yopomra, I couldn't qua. Emra, United Nation for any Benina, and of bad year, and I couldn't qua.
So we educated illiterates.
Good technology.
Which news are already if United Nations for no ba to be a some kama or kind of crap. Now so no Omura Benina no head of Bako. I am now many of Pomara and a DSC. Padia Kofi Nai, the offer. When you baby call. Ofi wa kwa pena ablanti ba e chana ni Asian oba ya no maka se mbi o se African penny for ye hweye na fie for obuo emma gay for
banking move.
Yes. One can't o say Africa they dey careful ye penny for no monhwɛ mo ho yie na momfa ani die na ɛsɛ fama obi a ɔyɛ gay or lesbian.
Graphic no the Ghanaian Times 30th January 2012 page 5 and a year kind asem na abodi e da so no respect gay rights African leaders urge.
What is African leaders? I didn't know African leaders because 5 continents, yeah, Asia, America, Australia, Europe, and Africa. No, Africa, the only continent you bloom youth bar. You warm land here, pop. But to know 10.
Yeah, man, be the guy.
Yes. Building is how they know. It's about from say Africa is threat. From youth, no. So I 1 year war. A 1 year war. To what was society there? Done. Now African youth no almost lesbian no. So we are almost by the about tip child warfare for Africa. See, and Africa no a target. The target part of my woman. South Africa for to tia say Bema to wale Bema what to know about the and then na a war a beya de beba from low rate of African say and then no future and then no future
the Ghanaian Times 30th January 2012 page 5 respect gay rights African leaders urge UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. The United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has urged African leaders to respect gay rights. Discrimination based on sexual orientation has been ignored or even sanctioned by many states for too long. Mr. Ban told an African Union summit homosexuality is illegal in many African countries, a situation which has drawn increased criticism from activists and the West. Mr. Ban also said the Arab Spring proved leaders must listen to their people.
Michael, I didn't tell Africa. That's not one of no one. I didn't tell Africa because Africa, Ujaya, between our work,
okay.
And tomorrow we say a target. Now, Shadia, over the lobby by a lower a danger to be say, Akwala, no rights, child rights, a munye papa. And then, this is more about old school. Head the Enquana old school now, Michael, your time will never be no sir. Now, Opa, every year growth, then Shadia, the BC. Now, so the Opa Kayano, you went for say, a wrong. The Opa say,
Senior maybe some Okai, Proverbs chapter 23, verse 13 to 14. Withhold not correction from the child, for if you beat him with a rod, he shall not die. 14. You shall beat him with a rod, and shall deliver his soul from hell.
In fact, at something about and for Kamakola. As I was saying, the one I was saying, what did the car if he asamado? And until the Canada should say, be a buy camino. Let me change ye. Baby, me. Be a bar school punishment and a bomb pa. Na and that, we can't call an abanua and go ye. Yeah, Chacha, mybed.com. Chacha, Quarantono, another. Another papa. School for with school. I'm trying to my security man on a play for Chacha. I just couldn't buy my school for security for Nibi. I want to go back to Chacha and it's getting my bribe old school. Here was school, no? Okay, on to me. No,
your cousin will teach about home for how.
Oh, so I don't say,
yes.
It's with me, Brano, and you know, I Casa, I'm on fire, attentive for Muti as a man. I say, never kind of. So I know you now, and then been a say you, and you go in the map, I was saying. Alice Bailey.
Okay. First
page.
Okay. We are now.
Baby, can have mommy.
Okay, sorry. Okay, first page now. Maybe can amount. Alice Bailey is in wholesome. I think the 10-point plan of the New World Order, or how to prepare the way of the Antichrist. The strategy. The 10-point charter of Alice Bailey adopted by the United Nations. The purpose
of UNESCO. My father, therefore, you went for no, I want to see no control. You say, the cost of man be able to be a no woman over the bar. Until no, we say no, or my son say, no, I say.
The purpose to change Judeo or Christian tradition or to redeem the nation from Judeo-Christian tradition. 1. Take God and prayer out of the education system. when kind na you
be because I'm say offer money penny for they didn't call her of a school time no by the first side of the class school time no offer let us say
in terms of
moral
no high because that time no na utumi hu say enipa enkwala ye innocent nti adwen no eni boni bi so a wo kwakoye na wanya sabe na musicians awo ho numa no mu ya yedi tufu nkwala ye chefa penyifo wo mu chefa nti na ase enkwofo atutu mu de ma no yedi awo nwom na yiti na yedi tu anamo nti na obi adi ni lane unfortunately no yedi beti si enamri mu a bibia jinsem nu a ti enyu ko a ekoso eno na encourage adwamammo ni niema nti difference mu eno no nkwala no na nyuma yiti no benyimfo nyu nkwala nyu ane ya futu na ene ni de ibi ajagum eme ya ugba be kan was the base art here nji na destroy no ebi ni lyrics fulfill niema ekoso no ene na society no encourage njama ene mpenyimfo kra no obi planning sanu apena bi ani adi ama na jama ba also mi ba no kra be no 3 years we be party 3-year-old girl party no yeah the ball prefer no ya ga ba ni ndia no ye basis keke akwa na dey no di ice cream the one no na cake bi ya akwa baby and for na ji party ni na
ojafa
daytime profane and niema Manuesi, you put
that's it. We might be no of our working time work no.
Okay.
Young Palano. Yes, the first day who used to right?
Yeah.
Good. Until no big can may you say, may you contractor, may you police may you soldier, may you doctor, may you say. Now, Abuchi. Uncle bring Lego ofa lego ha o say the fence ni bi and na omudi atam na hu say de ka no e no kra pa ama ba hu si ya no ono free Nigeria no ba school I say ono ontumi sere osara na wane nti wonu mo na mo ba pambes o de na so me ka no e be yan ka yem school ho say hey yem na go school ho Parental. Any coin.
Because you're going to cook. Yeah. You're going to pop.
Yeah. But the first year, I'm going to share with the cat and I'm saying, oh, boy, oh, wow. You put yourself another day. But I don't another day. Serious. But look at the time, I don't know. Yeah. Almost your meeting. And then but I don't to one of them. Who are share the way our content and some of our canoa or bar and quadrant epidemic.
Let us say you're a professor, you're a professor.
Into one play my young man. To kind of want to say, you are trying to be and to be a wolf film. Who you stood up film. Every day, also a giant to Mutromono. No offense, immediate, a beer. I be Yalia, Omunia, Omu. This will be I want to tell you. I can. Abofo no omo transfer obeso mu wia Africa no say kwa ni na won de obuko na say mo say bo ni tuka che o ma me say you are stupid African no you guys don't say right child right until no ma me stupid no ma na yedi uji na wachero no be do na fiamla in somewhere am say omo use school on baye so omo wale mu
Over here, I see a video be my say concerning about what is your profession when you complete school. Emma, yebehwe a teacher ni ebisa school kwada. Ebibu na de se te saade yenim ebi abruchi asem na oka. Taye kradwa jegunu mai na yehwe.
Remember we talked about word families. I know you love that. So we're going to start with words that end in AN. You yell out a word, I'll write it down. Let's see how many we can get. Go!
Fan!
Fan! There's a good one.
Man! Lesbian!
Words that end in AN. Anyone? Words ending in AN.
Lesbian!
Okay, I heard pan. Good.
No, Faith said lesbian.
All right, no big deal. Faith said lesbian. Hold on. Good, we'll write that down. Just the word.
I like Olivia. Am I a lesbian?
Well, if you like Olivia, you could be, sure.
I like Olivia. I love Olivia. I like Olivia too. Am I a lesbian?
No, it doesn't work that way, Philip. You can never be a lesbian. Okay, let's just move on. Let's try words that end in ON.
Prostitution.
What did you say?
Prostitution. What is prostitution?
What is prostitution? Let's say prostitution is when you work in the street and you get paid.
I want to do prostitution.
No. All right. Moving on to words that end in RE, but let me just have a second here to think if nothing, there can't be. So shout out words that end in RE.
Crack whore.
I'm awesome.
The Tibiano Yasamba back, Yebeshe. Emzadeni Essay, a sounds like no Ibisa, Nkwadani say, we school at the end of Ibisa obey prostitution, obey drama, Ibisa obey lesbian, Ibisa Bayman was also obey lesbian. I say, the course will be asino, and Yagana Hanko. Ebuja can Alice Bailey say when someone and I offer you see a video. But my calling tell him so be here, only be here at 12.
What is so Benia? Baka one. This is a lesbian. Yeah, where am I going? I will share if you are so. I don't know the school of the Saneba Africa. Last year, tell us something by say. Yes. Anyway, what's the difference?
Difference be any.
Now, I buy a smart. When you even the single free social media.
World order or how to prepare the way of the Antichrist. The strategy, the 10-point charter of Alice Bailey adopted by the United Nations. The purpose to change the Judeo-Christian tradition or to redeem the nation from Judeo-Christian tradition. 1. Take God and prayer out of the education system. She said, change curriculum to ensure that children are freed from the bondage of Christian culture. Why? Because children go to what is being given to them. If you take God out of education, they face life. They will focus on those things. The school count them well, child right legislation. UNICEF charter. Today, a child is able to say to parents, I do not want to hear that. I don't want to do what you are telling me. No, because I don't see parent tradition and feel quite Alice Bailey's or the other. Now, okay, say, promoting excessive child right from 1997 to 1998 South Africa for introducing child right legislation. Abolish corporal punishment. This has been made law.
They will have confidence within them. Say they are going to prepare a good policy.
We mean the Kosu, yes. We are say, we are school, no one in we are qualified, no a director, will be now. When we will be but as to say, a name of Kosu, and I will be back politician na to abama oh me ba I can't tell you nti no went me say na chinka say ye na nka msi say na I pressure e bia to so obi afi say o kan sa dia na defeatist attitude nti wo nka ani e ko ni sa me ba o ba so a wontumi nya dia so ba ye no aso ye to ni show and na me ka say it all boils down to what educated illiteracy but the equation ntimi solve any problems I cause dada situation na education dey no nyai and you know stress educated illiterate and what's my baby we are fine what's like you did punishment next week when to be week okay
they have to chip in
okay
what's better what do
but that's baby so I'm paying for me conversation are very very much in talent today we can hear everything clear so education what I'll tell you educated illiterate what to school and so for so be also why they illiterate said your TV na pepe and so fire do no so obetumi afre na odi timi po ana say comment abato dwedi no na ya ka emusem na afre enti mesrese bebi ya du ni no obehwe na we so the messages aba because flow keep on flowing bringing the messages. This has made us know clearly say the UNESCO is not helping the institution, that is Ghana Education Service is not helping them at all, rather they are put us today. Indeed we are in the crucial world.
Hello.
God bless you. Hello Pacho baby I'm free with the Wake Up Africa Jumedi.
Hello wo come that say you told me pataseni awo nkwala ni edo na party ni na elebu ni na de tra kwala se e fa kire kwala de nti de mo kan na won say school asayampa but I was very
yes that's be my first time on this show. I'm very happy your friend Kobina Baju on also need no I was also for messages bra na into me Emma of for Pacho fresh Pacho baby I'm free with you we share Wake Up Africa Jumedi. Hello Pacho me tonka udini baby I'm free
Pacho you brother you ma takrabe
okay brother yankwe
Pacho you yeda and then some pen flaxi our dia obade and now was so my and then being takrabe see the my movement the year from attention I'm a water and Israel and no dramatic so and the movement in the big yellow was what about boy can no your coach book you or English book you or the cry ko awunya bi ana there is secret to cry or to say no my say tumun no be dia tu ana omuntu ninjin tumba omuka na omo num tantam pe no mo say se mo tumu for ne ya yeso ya benom untimi ntie nti onse se o ma tada ko fa ba de omo baji wi atum omo person omo di geli tumu ntia nti me se mo weki African app na yeni na opa na to say the connect the enye crash so obe ko school so di na china ko the kind of book I dey tell na there enye sa dia David
that's be no so dia aba
ni na wuhu ni o we ba botu aba obo le bi nya so fo ba ba shankom de yi no gberi but the me mo ko di na so fi dia if you ever say I saw man what are you wonder ho na so for now we be in any one what politicians in ma when you look at the video of the only do not call the politicians in what are you babu ko no what are you about that one
that's so dropping how does UNESCO define global education? Global citizen education, that is UNESCO responsible to these challenges. It works by empowering learners of all ages, and understand that these are global, not local issues, and to become active.
The one chair, couple entrance, the one chair, one entrance. Education service, almost yes I because of gay I did all the gay what some started to all the years and then but then about the urging people sometimes more cause somebody have been now to say abino many people have aka you feel ready to accept that after that enti mumu ya bibia ya the government and the department is talking to so I wrong with education minister education so be the system of part and you don't know addition one the question
yo yara se so the question aba empedifo menya adagere eyiwa no senior open the year BC 2023 they asked candidates to draw vagina and name the part and also eba BC mo bisu di okano no or the confirm the offer ABC omu bisa nkwada no say the ombe woda achi no abusa phone messages bra na into me enkenka ba cho frefo afresin baby afrefi ene wudin
we are friend Black Judas me frefi baby ni
okay ba cho yankasa
yet to my mu enema etwa ye ho ahie nyina ye nya ho adihia wo school mu enema bi ti say ye koku ye nhia ho ade wo school kwaya faso ye mining ye too good ye nhia ho ade wo school kwaya faso tu oil ya ye nhia ho ade wo school lebum se de be sia dro abeda lebo le pass ede enema emfata ni ade afa ye tikwa ba be se ye lumda ye nhia na brolibiti Holland brolibiti Malta onu mo de nhia kwaya faso too good basic school ya dia tire wo mo a na de to nya kwan no ba Africa won mo ne ba be mani na ye mo na de no e ma no ye mo mu share literature ye share past tense participle ni no ba ya se afeso a bibi ti se buru emo ana atokwo mo sa wotimi saaji bi kokko bia
so udi ni baby afrefi
me de ba she frefi ofan go ba
okay aja yanko
hello
meton ka ba che betumi akasa yento aso
okay am say obi frɛ say the name Kufrado your oil no anya no fort na ade na mo kasa na mo ko boni din akai say ni tan mesuzu o yegi because onye dia on train kasa wedding kwa kan afi dia mo kan ya politics and that means we no kan kasa dino kita na kasa ya don kasa o yegi